This video is rated mature.
Alright, story time. So originally I was going to release a video called Everything I Watched in 2024 on this date of March 10th, but I got a little busy. I'm in 2 musicals at the moment, and I'm going to be in Florida from March 7th to 11th, so I'm not going to have time to really edit that video, and it's a huge video, so, you know, it's going to take a lot more time, so I'm moving that video to April 23rd. So to pad the time here and to give you a video on March 10th, I'm going to be taking a little segment from my Everything I Watched in 2024 video, and I'm going to be giving it to you for free. Look at me go! I'm so cool and resourceful using a different clip from a different video. Anyway, it's all about Helluva Boss because, you know, talking about Helluva Boss gets you just free views. It's crazy. Anyway, bye! There were 5 Helluva Boss episodes that came out this year, and honestly, I think they're kind of the best episodes of Season 2, which is saying a lot because I haven't really enjoyed Season 2 all that much. Alright, so Full Moon is pretty okay and all, I guess, but honestly, we kinda knew the outcome going in. I think it was pretty obvious anyway. So most of the episode to me just felt like a bunch of filler with Blitz going shopping and me slowly realizing why everyone hates the cherubs and why I should too. Honestly, the only gripping story and drama here is in the last 5 minutes or so, when Blitz yells at Stolas and they break up, in air quotes, because they weren't really together, and even though it's interesting, the whole time I was like, yep, they should break up. Their relationship is purely transactional and there's nothing really going on for them. It also feels very one-sided pretty much all of the time, and Stolas is the only one who really wants the relationship. And what makes that worse is the fact that the entire trajectory of his character was changed entirely in Season 2 so that the fans could get their fucking ship. Plus, I think that Blitz and Stolas deserve better as characters, and I'm just gonna say it, I don't think they have much romantic chemistry with each other. Sorry, not sorry, Stolas fans. Apology Tour is way more interesting and fun, as it actually explores both Stolas and Blitz in interesting ways. We get to see what Stolas wants in a relationship, and we hear from Blitz what he wants to do to become a better person. We see Verosika, and she talks to Blitz from the heart, which is nice. Also, the jokes in this episode are just funnier, and the songs are way more catchy. I don't love When I See Him in Full Moon, but I freaking love All To You. Good stuff. Ghostfuckers is also pretty alright because it actually explores Millie's character outside of Moxie, which has been a problem with her character for years, and still is. And for those of you who say that episode 5 also explores her character, I would severely disagree. Yeah, sure, she spells out exactly how she feels to Moxie, but I would be inclined to say that that episode and story really only serves Moxie's character to show that he can be inconsiderate as a character. This episode at least tells us why the IMP is important to her and what her relationship with Blitz is. The episode also explores Blitz's relationship traumas in an interesting way. And hey, an Erica Henningsen cameo is always a plus. Mastermind is cool, but kinda feels drawn out in some places of its script. Basically, the contents of this episode are Blitz gets arrested and Stolas loses his powers. The song is pretty neat, and I love all the sins being in one place besides Lucifer, but it's a fun gag. And oh my god, I never knew that I needed more Patrick Page's voice until this episode. I have a couple big issues with the episode though. So one, Satan's introduction is amazing, and definitely has the same hype factor that the other sins introductions had, but we saw Belphegor and Leviathan in this episode, and they had absolutely no fanfare, so the next time we see them is gonna be kinda underwhelming as a result, and it's disappointing because I think every sin deserves to have some sort of cool introduction. They are the 7 deadly sins of hell after all. Also, someone posted this on Twitter, but Stolas and Blitz's relationship somehow goes from hateful and broken up in Season 1 Episode 7, and then turns to this.
You're my light, you're my heart, only death can bring the love.
And it's annoying because there has been little to no build-up for this development, but besides all those little issues, I think the episode is fine. The season finale, Sinsmas, is a fun little episode and is one of the better written episodes of the season. And though I think they still need a ton of work as a ship, and I still wish it didn't become the focus of Season 2, I think this episode is kind of a good peek into the future as to how the dynamic as a couple for Stolas will be going forward. There isn't a power dynamic anymore, so that kind of fixes, like, a couple issues with them as a couple. Not every issue, but it fixes a few. The animation is great, as it usually always is, but there are a couple scenes where the coloring is very off, like the imps switch between dry red and bright red very often, and especially also in this scene, I noticed that the bloom or glowing effect on the eyes was turned way up on everyone for some reason. Overall, it just looked very weird and unnatural, very odd. I think the stuff with Via was pretty okay, but I wish we got more of her voicing her disdain of Blitz this season, because I feel like that development kind of came out of nowhere, but it's something interesting they can dive into more next season. Maybe, hopefully. I like that her song is a pretty smart reprise of You Will Be Okay from Lululand, back from episode 2 of season 1. Holy moly, that was a long time ago. And the song sounds a lot like a Radiohead song, which I love personally. But oh my god, Barrett Wilbert-Weed needs to sing more on this show, please, because she has like a really great singing voice, oh my goodness. But also, just in general, I feel like this season didn't use Via at all, and that makes her reason to be mad at Stola significantly less understandable, and it doesn't hit as hard as it would have if she just showed up more in season 2. Millie realizing she's pregnant is definitely an idea. I just don't know how to feel about it. On the one hand, I think that the fact that she isn't the most enthused about the news is very interesting and feels realistic for her character. And it's definitely a realistic reaction as well. Pregnancy is a huge deal. It slightly makes me wonder if Moxie's gonna be the exact opposite and be really happy for her and be very happy about being a dad. But also, I feel like the writers were running out of ideas to try and make her character have more stuff to do. I think Millie has more traits to her character, and they were actually starting to explore some of those traits, but I don't know, we'll just have to watch Season 3 play out for me to actually collect my thoughts and see for certain if this decision was the best for her character's direction. Because it's not the worst decision in the world, and I think it can lead to some really interesting things, but I think Millie has more to offer as a character, and the writers just aren't tapping into it. Overall, Season 2 has just been a roller coaster of writing. A lot of the earlier episodes are really weak, but I think the season definitely picks up in quality in terms of writing near the end, so I'm mildly hopeful for the next season to be better whenever Season 3 comes out, which is looking like it'll be a while, but to be honest, I think it should take its time to be as best as it can be anyway. I do enjoy watching the show, but when you think about any decision in both Hazbin Hotel or Helluva Boss for more than 2 seconds, it all just falls apart. But I'm not all that smart, and I'm not the best at dissecting media, and a lot of my thoughts are very scrambled, so instead of me trying to make a fully formed analysis of these shows, I'm just gonna recommend you these videos talking about both Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel, because these shows are very heavily flawed, and I do not want to get into it anymore. It's just too much work. Am I forgetting something? Oh wait, shit, there were some Helluva Boss shorts that came out this year too, so short 1 is very cute and expands the sisterly bond of Sally Mae and Millie, which is nice because it also makes their conversation in the finale of Season 2 have a great feeling of payoff, because it's really sweet that Sally Mae was the first person that Millie called. Short 2 is not my favorite, and the penguins are the best part of the episode, but everything else is either unfunny or forgettable. Short 3 is the best, surprisingly. On paper, it should be an episode that I hate. A cringy, horny fanfiction weeaboo character saying cringe and horny dialogue is something I should hate. But for some reason, it's actually funny, and having Blitz kind of be the straight man in this comedy routine surprisingly works. Overall, very funny and the most cartoony of the bunch. Short 4 is just okay. The goats are fine, I guess, but the episode is just not all that funny, and holy shit, the more they use those CIA agents in these episodes, the less and less intimidating they become, which makes me sad. Remember when the CIA agents were actually kind of, cool antagonists with cool motivations, and now they're just kind of there and they're the butt of all the jokes, and they're just kind of cringe and weird and stupid, and I hate them. General consensus is that the shorts are fine and harmless, and they should just do more of them. Alrighty, and that's the full segment from my Everything I Watched in 2024 video that is coming out on April 23rd. Save the date. I'm going to be just hunkering down and editing that as we speak. So, yeah, see you later.